Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvadaum Ganganapate Namaha. Om Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Om Shri Paramagurubhyo Namaha. Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundai Viche Sarvamangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanyatrambake Devi Narayani Namostute Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Shri Hanumanji Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 29th of September 2025. I want to offer my prostrations, respects, namaskara to all the great sages, Mahatmas, Bhaktas, devotees present on the planet today, and to the Supreme One Tattva, Parabrahma Tattva, Bhagavad Tattva, present in everyone's heart, in all beings, at all times, in all places. Om Devi Mahagaure Namaha. Today is the 8th day of Navratri, and this is the day for Mahagauri. Mahagauri is one of the forms of Devi during this Navratri period that is worshipped and that is remembered beautifully. It is quite an interesting and very, very powerful transition in life, because this entire life that we have is actually a transition, from a massive state of ajnan and bondage and limitations into a highly evolved state of freedom, of liberation, of wisdom, of intelligence, of ananda, of forgiveness, of divine qualities, etc. So it is a transition. It is a transition, and it is a transition leading to the liberation itself, leading to Jivan Mukti. And this is the point here. So today's exposition will be on, of course, on Navratri, continuing on Navratri, but specifically looking at Mahagauri Devi, how it is this form of Devi is connected to the Jivan Mukta state, connected to the Parabhakti, Prema Bhakti, to Radha Tattva, and to spirituality in general. So, Mahagauri means, she's a very fair goddess. Fair meaning the complexion is very fair. What is the story behind that? So, in the Shiv Puran and the Devi Bhagavad, both places, Parvati's body darkens through ascetic heat. Shiva then cleanses her, revealing a resplendent, great, fair Mahagauri form. So it is a transition from austerity to purification to radiance. I'll explain these points very carefully. So the story is in two places about Mahagauri Devi. It is actually in the Devi Mahatmya itself also, in a specific way. But these two particular references of Shiv Puran and Devi Bhagavata, where Parvati ji is doing great tapasharya. There's a lot of heat generated. And now this is symbolic. It's not just symbolic. There's a history behind that. There's a metaphysics behind it. And this is applicable for us. Because when we're doing sadhana, mantras, bhajans, kirtans, Bhagwan ke saath connection ke liye prayatna karte hai, when we are trying to connect with God in any which way, there is the ascetic heat. Two words to keep in mind if you're taking notes. Ascetic is A-S-C-E-T-I-C, ascetic heat. Ascetic means tapasharya, tapas. It is a tapasharya. For example, all of you, and Sachin having the opportunity to do satsang every day, to present different ideas, to listen to these mantras and stotras, it is a type of tapasharya. It is a type of yagna. It is called Gnan Yagna. So different types of tapasya are done. Some people do fasting, that is tapasya. Some individuals will give up certain foods for some period of time, that is tapasya. It is also the tapasya of the senses. To not see certain kinds of drashya, certain inputs that we enjoy seeing usually, and kind of say, I'm letting it go for 2 months, 3 months, like that. These are all forms of tapasya. There are some forms that should remain for whole life. Some are within a certain period of time. Many people like to do this one-time eating, one-time meal during Chaturmas, 4 months, Shravan Mas, like that. During the Shravan Mas, different occasions there are where people do certain kind of tapasya. Some people like to hold fast once a week, maybe on a Thursday or on a Friday or whatever it might be, Monday. These are all forms of tapasya. This is called asceticism. The English word is asceticism. Asceticism means austerity, living a frugal life, living a life of penance. Penance meaning to use energy and to focus it towards Paramatma. It's very interesting. To use energy, to focus it towards Bhagwan in a way that actually transmutes the Shakti from inside. We have a new person online. Namaskar. Jaima is there. Very nice. So it is a transmutation. It is a transmutation of Shakti from inside through tapasya. And this is the whole point of this Leela Charitra of Goddess Parvati, Devi Parvati. So she is doing tapasya. We know this, right? We know this from the Puranic stories. We know this from Devi Bhagavatam. We know this from Shiv Puran. That she is a great bhakta of Shiva. Bhagwan Shankar ke bhakta hai wo. In one sense. Shivji is also her bhakta too. That's another sense. So when she's doing tapasya, there's heat generated. Abhi ye heat ki kya baat hai? This is interesting. That is the awakening of Kundalini Shakti. So when we are doing tapasya, when we are connecting with Bhagwan through Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Tap Yoga, jo bhi prakar ka yoga hai. The Gita teaches us so many different types of yogas. The Ashtanga Yoga is also there. Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga, jo bhi hai. Some people are in love with different gurus. So if you want to call that Guru Yoga, that's fine. I don't know if it's called like that or not, but you can call it that. Guru ke vachan धारण करना, ध्यान मूलम गुरोर मूर्ति, मंत्र मूलम गुरोर वाक्यम, पूजा मूलम गुरोर पदम, मोक्ष मूलम गुरोर कृपा. श्रद्धा की बात है. वो जो teachers है, the teachers that are there, the great sages that are there, उनके वचन हम धारण करेंगे, we hold them inside our heart, that becomes guru. So there's different types of yoga. This is all yoga. The word is yoga actually. We can say yoga, that's fine. I mean, But the point here is that there is an ascetic heat. What an interesting way to put that. That is the awakening of Shakti from inside. Yes, Kundalini Shakti awakens. Absolutely it awakens. But it has to awaken in the right way, in the right amount for our benefit, so that it actually breaks the blockages that are inside our system. Those are the granthis. They're called granthi, meaning knots. For example, anger is there, jealousy is there, worries, tensions, fears, all kinds of endless kinds of stuff is going on inside our head, inside our system. And that creates blockages, psychological blockages. In psychology, there's a lot of theory about this, a lot of ideas about this, neuropsychology. But then in the Vedantic tradition, in the Shakti tradition, etc., this is called granthi. Rudaya granthi, chindante, rudaya granthi, chindante, sarva samshaya. Upanishad mein baat likhi hai. Bahut sundar baat hai. That the heart granthi, the knot of the heart, once that is pierced, all doubt is removed and the Brahman is realized. Very interesting, right? The point here, the story goes that Parvati's, Devi's body becomes dark. And then Shivji, what does he do? He cleanses it. He, completely removes all that. And what comes out is this beautiful Mahagauri form, resplendent, great fair. Maha meaning the great, Gaura. It's a Gaura complexion. Amazing. That's radiance, right? So there's 3 stages. Austerity is stage 1. हमारे जीवन में तपश्चर्या करनी ही चाहिए. But there's all kinds of tapasya. Tapasya is not just fasting. Some people believe we should just do a lot of fasting. No, that's not true. Fasting is good. Ekadashi days. There is the Vaishnava Ekadashi. There is the Shaiva Ekadashi. There's different beautiful days. There's the full moon day. Nom in Gujarati we say Nom no Pas. Punam ni Puja, like that. Different times. There's all kinds of outlines for doing different puja, archana, fasting, things like that. You can do that. But the greatest tapasya, what is the highest tapasya? The highest tapasya is a continuous resonance with the liberated state, Jivan Mukta Sthiti. And with that same resonance, the constant resonance in Prema Bhakti. This is the highest tapasya. There's nothing greater than this in life. But that resonance, that entering into the liberated state, moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day, that is the tapasya. That is all 9 forms of Devi are inside that path. That is the beauty. So our natural beauty, see, this is the whole point of beauty, the radiance, the Gaura Swarupa. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes is also called the Gaura Avatar, like this. It's beauty, it's radiance. It is the radiance from within that shines in the body, mind, senses, everywhere. So in Gujarati we call this Brahma Swarup Sthiti. Brahma Swarup Sant. Isko ye bhi kehte hai. Different names are there. So this radiance shows up. It comes about. It is radiant power. Shakti has opened up into a divine radiance that shines on all, shines everywhere with love, with prema, with bhakti, with devotion, with seva, with excellent qualities. The qualities that develop from within are excellent qualities. You see, so Mahagauri form is on the 8th day of Navratri, and it is there is a cleansing process. The story, it represents Shuddhikaran. In Gujarati we say Shuddhikaran, cleansing. Cleansing means to clean up the disturbances, blockages, rag, dvesh, mamatva, all whatever is stored inside that needs to be removed, that needs to be cleaned out. That is the whole point of Navratri. Each day we do puja and havan, we do different artis and all these things we are doing. Why? To clean up the system. Get it cleaned once and for all. Once and for all. How beautiful. And once we start that process, this is the whole point of heat. When there is havan being done, there's heat generated. The flame is generating heat. So that's the whole point. We're doing the internal havan. Internal havan is the burning up of ajnana, burning up of rag, dvesh, aham, mamatva, klesh. And it is done through mantra. Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundai Viche Swaha. Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundai Viche Swaha. Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundai Viche Swaha. This is Navaran Mahamantra. Devi ka mantra hai. Kar sakte hai. We talked about that before. Kar sakte hai. Other upasanas are there. You can do also Krishna mantra, Ram mantra, Shiv ji ke mantra, Hanuman ji ke mantra. Koi baat nahi. Karo. No problem. Beautiful. But since we're talking about Navratri, we focus on Devi specifically. So this is the beauty of this. That once we start this journey, then don't back off. Don't back off and keep going. There are going to be some changes up and down. Thoda hoga. Don't worry about that. People get so overwhelmed. Oh, I'm not progressing. Well, I fall back down. This happens, that happens. Because the child cannot just run one day, just like that. Child has to learn how to walk first. Child has to learn how to stand first, then walk. No baby can just stand by itself once it is born. It takes time for the child to learn how to stand. Then the child can learn how to walk. Then the child can slowly learn how to walk without holding anything. And then the child can learn eventually how to take steps and start running. And then as the child grows up, may become a marathon runner. Isn't it so? It's just like that. Our life is just like that. Where are we on this path? Where are we on these stages in spirituality? That is the question. The sprint runner, the marathon runner, that is the Jivan Mukta. Enlightened saint. Can we reach that stage? Of course. Why not? Why delay? I mean, what is the reason to delay that? Aapko prashna hai ye. What possible reason does anybody have to delay the Jivan Mukta state? इसको डिले करने की जरूर क्या है? Ask ourselves this question as each day goes by. Are we just throwing the day away? Just wasting it and destroying it in rag, dvesh, klesh, mamatva, worry, tension, fear. इसमें ये सब जीवन जल जाता है. Gets completely burnt away. जीवन इसके लिए नहीं है ऐसा. This is what Devi is teaching us. This is what Bhagwan Shankar is teaching us. This is what all the gurus are teaching us. They're teaching us and they're showing through their life that this life that we have is not to be burned away in rag, dvesh, klesh, mamatva, in likes, dislikes, causing problems in the world for ourselves, destroying and damaging energy, destroying and damaging time and money and effort, and everything is being, no, it should not be damaged. So it is an opportunity to wake up. As the Gita says, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Sanyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashyato Munehe. Bhagwan Krishna Paramatma kya kehte hai? It's so clear that most of the people are sleeping in this world on the towards the higher realization. ऐसे ही मर जाते, ऐसे ही शरीर छोड़ते. How sad. Shankaracharya ji himself stated, person is literally committing suicide again and again. Suicide meaning they're born again and again and again and again. इसमें से निकल ही नहीं सकते. पुनरपि जननम पुनरपि मरणम पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम यह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे भज गोविंदम भज गोविंदम मूढ़ मते. See this last part. मूढ़ मते. Mati, mood ban gaye. Mood meaning dull. So the mati meaning our intelligence, our bhavna, the T-E-M-D-E, thought, emotion, memory, desire, and energy that we talked about in the other programs. They need to be enlivened. They need to be awakened. They can be awakened. How to awaken them? By ascetic heat. What is that ascetic heat? To speak language as a yogi. Can we do so? Yogic speaking. Speak certain amount in context. Talking too much it can cause a lot of trouble. Most people in their life create a lot of problems for themselves and others by talking too much, and usually on subjects that have absolutely no significance at all, or they have harm inside. ये वाणी का तपश्चर्या है. वाणी नु तप in Gujarati we say. Each sense organ has a tapashcharya behind it. क्या सुनना, क्या नहीं सुनना, क्या देखना, क्या नहीं देखना, क्या स्पर्श करना, क्या नहीं स्पर्श करना. This is tapashcharya. And when we do this, our internal power gets harmonized. It becomes tejasvi, it becomes luminous. Our goal through upasana of Bhagavan, in any which form, God is only one. The upasana that we are doing, whichever Ishtadevata, whichever path, is that upasana is an austerity. Upasana meaning worship, is an austerity that will purify the Shakti. The Shakti is actually always pure and divine, but there's impurity created inside our system because of ego, The ahankar inside of us has clouded that great power. That is why it has to be purified. That is called shuddhikarana. It is the purification process. Antakarana shuddhi. Shuddha antakaran. Ban jaye. Is it possible? Yes. And what is the barometer? How do we know that mera antakarana shuddha ho gaya? How do we understand this thing? If we have guru, like pratyaksha guru, if you have particular guru and you have faith and the guru is guiding properly and they're teaching properly, to unke agya mein rehna, wo jo kehte hai, try to live that. But one should not have, any, if you have doubts, get them cleared. If you have doubts about, take good things from everybody. Make Hanumanji your guru. You can make Bhagavad Gita your guru. Make Bhagwan Shankar your guru. And that they will guide you, definitely. And they will guide all of us. And if we don't have particular physical guru parampara, then that's another way. There's a lot of ways to go about it. But ultimately, guru kya hai? Guru. Gu means ignorance, darkness, maya, andhakar, etc. Ru is Divya Prakash Atma, Bhagwan, Bhagvat Tattva, Paramatma. That is the meaning of guru. So we can say Sat Guru. You don't even actually have to say Sat, technically, but you can say it. We can say it. Sat Guru. Because there's other kinds of gurus also, it was material world level. That's fine. वो भी एक सत्य है, एक प्रकार का. Aparavidya. Paravidya, aparavidya. But Sat Guru is one who is showing by life and by exposition, by talk. इसको कहते हैं ब्रह्मवेत्ता and ब्रह्मनिष्ठ. It's called Shotriya and Brahmanishta. Two main qualities of Sadgurus. That they are Shotriya, they are able to take the scriptures and teachings and explain them to the masses and to devotees or whoever in different ways. That is called Shotriya. But that's not enough. Real gurus have that, they can have that quality, or they can inspire somebody to have that quality, but they are also Brahmanishta, and we can say Brahma Swarupa. That they are Nishta, they are completely connected with the super consciousness, supreme consciousness. That is Brahman, Akshara Brahma. जिसको अक्षरधाम भी कहते हैं. That is called Akshara Brahma. Brahma Bhutah Prasannatma Na Shochiti Nakangshiti Samah Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. You see, so this bhakti that we have been talking about for the last several months, that is obtained, that is possible for us once there is resonance 100% with Brahma Tattva. वो दिव्य तत्व है. So the Antakarana is Shuddha at one level, and then it is Divya at the higher level. So the Sadgurus, the really enlightened sages, they are living in Divyata. वो Divyata में रहते हैं. That is our goal, all of us together. We have a platform here. It is a non-hierarchical platform for presentation, for exposition, for conversation, discussion, and whatever Sachin has learned over the years is being shared with all of you. You see, and prarthana is there to God and to all the great sages, for all of us to be blessed on this path, so we can progress together, we can contemplate together, we can grow together, in a non-hierarchical modality. It's not that Sachin is up here and everybody is done. It's not like that. No. We are together. In fact, all of humanity is always together. And that is what Upanishad really means. Upanishad doesn't mean somebody sitting up here and some other 1,000 people are sitting down here and worshipping that individual. That's maybe there. It's okay. Jo hai, wo hai. That's not an issue. Upanishad means to sit at the feet of the enlightened masters and to gain this wisdom. So those enlightened masters, we have them. So many are there in the Sanatana Dharma, in the Parampara. Scriptures are there, teachings are there. Everything is available to us. It is a matter of being able to contemplate on that. Right? So this is how the tapasya, the tapas, the austerity, it's when we are focusing. That you can take examples of students, for example. They're in college or they're in school or whatever, and they have to study. They have to keep their mind on the goal. That is tapasya. Tapasya is there in every aspect of life. You see, but that is called penance. It is called tapasya. It is called austerity. And it is a purifier. Purifier. Now, as we do continue on this path of, of purification of energy, then what is the anubhav? Hamara anubhav kya hai? Several things are directly experienced. One is that there is much more internal stability. Number one. Another point, there is the better quality of our thoughts and our emotions. TEMDE, all are excellent. Remember the 5, 6, and 5. Some new people will talk about that another time. So you'll be caught up on what that all means. The purification of thoughts. इसको कहते हैं शुद्ध विचार. जीवन में ये नहीं आता. किसके पास है ये? शुद्ध विचार. शुद्ध विचार means purified thinking, purified emotions. Throughout the day, we have to ask, can we ask ourselves, what is the quality of my thoughts? What is the quality of my emotions? And to improve that quality, that is the path of spirituality, of Bhagwan, Bhagvat Naam, Bhagwan ka Naam, Bhagwan ka Dhyan, etc. And that will take us into eventually a mukta state. Mukta state means liberated state, living liberation. And the resonance with that state that I am, that my, this life is to be lived at the highest level. Why not? And I ask this question, what possible reason does anybody have to delay? Don't delay. Don't get this thing in the mind, it will happen later. This is our biggest mistake. And if you don't know anything, people who don't know anything about the liberated state, तो उनकी बात अलग है. They don't know, वो अज्ञान दशा है. But once a person realizes that there is such a thing as जीवन मुक्ति, जिसको दिव्य जीवन कहते हैं, प्रेममय जीवन कहते हैं, भक्तिमय जीवन कहते हैं, आनंदमय जीवन कहते हैं, राग द्वेष रहित जीवन, without raga and dvesha. That kind of fantastic life, if that is possible, then why not resonate with that? That is possible, and that is the life, that is my life. That is this life. Not any ahankar nahi hai isme. Close the gap between the Sadgurus and yourself. We are keeping a gap. Bhagwan is in the temple, yes. Gurus are somewhere in some ashram, somewhere like this. There's a gap. The capacity to close the gap is called resonance. And that resonance itself is this extraordinary brightness, and that is Mahagauri. You see how it all comes to the same point. Mahagauri, it's the splendor that shines from inside. That is resonance. Now, what is needed for that resonance? A lot of time? How much time is needed? Years and years? Millions of lifetimes? Or just today? What is needed for that resonance? Energy is needed, and we have energy already. All that is needed is that energy needs to resonate with the highest realization. That's all. And that in that resonance, what is involved in that resonance is the key. What is involved in that resonance is the absolute key. That there is the radiance of love. Shiv and Shakti, Ardhanarishwar Swarup. That is love. Pure, absolute love. Undisturbed, undiluted, non-fragmented, whole, Purna, Prem. This is the 10th Bhakti. A lot of nice descriptions. अनुभव में जाना है, not just words. अनुभव में जाना है, किसको जाना है? Who wants to go? Who has that tenacity and that determination कि प्रेम में ही रहना है, प्रेममय जीवन, nothing else. No kernel of no stone is to be put inside there. Yesterday I was at one of these events at one of our devotees' homes. So many different food items were there. Different kinds of beautiful, fantastic food items, offered to God and offered to the whole group of people, some 20, 25 people, something like that were there. And there was a particular milk product that was made, placed inside the silver glass. They had these silver glasses, right? It's so beautiful, so wonderful, and then you drink that, and it's it's a very nice taste, and it's a holy, it's divya. Can you imagine putting 5 stones inside there, or let's put a teaspoon of dirt inside there. This is what people are doing. When we have real bhakti, guru nishta, bhagvat nishta, prem, इसमें ये जो राग द्वेष क्लेश अहम ममत्व, all this trash, don't put trash inside that thing. It is the art of not putting trash inside the realm of devotion. उसको फेंक देना. Purified, that is purification. And that is the power of mantra jap. भगवान का जो नाम है, भगवत नाम है, इसमें जो ताकत है, इसमें जो शुद्धता है, इसमें जिस प्रकार की दिव्यता है, you will not find that anywhere else. That is the greatest weapon. We talk about these weapons right in the hands of Bhagwan Shankar, or jo Trishul and sword and all those weapons. Yes, those weapons are actually this mala only. और क्या है? भगवान के नाम में जो ताकत है. Any name of God is only one. Take whichever name you want to take, but take it properly. It has come in tradition, not something fantasy. It has come about out of great krupa dawning in the minds of the rishis. Whether it is Tulsidas ji, whether it is Valmiki ji, whether it is Shukdev Goswami ji who spoke the Bhagavatam, whatever, whoever it is, Bhagavad Gita, Uddhav Gita, Avadut Gita, Shastra, kitne hai Shastra? Thousands. But hum swayam Shastra ban jaye. That's a different matter. Sachin can say that, I'm going to study the Gita and I'm going to study chapter 15, Urdhva Mula Madashakam, Ashwatham Prahuravyam, ye sab shlok bol sakte hai. ठीक है, it's all right. It's one thing to speak the shlok and it's fine. Shlok bolo, it's a manan chintan karne ki jarur hai. But the Mahavakya in Upanishad, Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. Who are you? We are that sthiti, that state where the antakarana is absolutely pure and a decision is made through our buddhi, through our vivek chudamani, through our viveka, not to pollute Jnana, not to pollute bhakti. Don't add a pollutant inside. I gave this example before many times. You go to Wawa or to Acme or some store, you buy a red cap whole milk, 1 gallon of milk, fresh, one pasteurized, bring it home and say, I want to make this milk a little bit better. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of dirt inside there. This is kitna foolishness. You cannot drink it then. What if you put, 1 teaspoon of polluted milk inside there? Some pollutant, stones or dirt or trash or something that you put inside that milk. I mean, you cannot drink this thing. The milk is not at fault. Bhagwan ki bhakti, hamara antakarana. Our antakarana, this is the whole point of Navratri. Our antakarana is like that whole pure pasteurized milk. Whole milk. With all the pollutants removed, pasteurized, and everything is just beautiful. All that is needed is to drink it. Our antakarana becomes this way. That is called the krupa of Guru. People say Guru ki krupa honi chahiye. Guru ki krupa hai kya after all? You think that Guru is going to come and just put flowers on our head every day? No. Guru krupa is the absolute 100% purification of the antakarana, of the man, buddhi, chit, ahankar, or another classification, TEMDE, thought, emotion, memory, desire, energy. It is 100% purification. And we can start with that. Is that so hard? No. Mantra chodna nahi. Namah Shivaya mantra, Navaran mantra, Krishna ka mantra, Ram ka mantra. Don't let the mantras go. Do regular sadhana. People say, we'll do some bhakti here and there. It's like the last thing out of the whole list of things that we want to do in life. Somewhere at the very end of that, somewhere we'll do some bhakti, somewhere go to some tir, do some puja after we're old and all that thing. What guarantee anybody has given Sachin is going to become old? Anybody given that guarantee? Kitna agnan hai. That should be the first thing, not the last thing. The moment we realize that to realize the mukta state, to realize Paramatma is the number one task in life, is the number one Dheyo Narayano Harihi Aludya Sarva Shastrani Vicharya Cha Puna Puna Idam Ekam Sunishpannam Dheyo Narayano Harihi. When that is realized, this is exactly where that awakening happens, the tapasya begins, bhakti begins, sadhana begins, manan chintan begins, all these beautiful states begin. And from that, what do we have? From that we have purification. And then we have realization. From purification comes the realization of the Brahma Tattva, of the Atma Tattva, Tattvamasi, Ayam Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, Pragnananam Brahma. The 6 Mahavakyas in the Upanishad all come together within the heart, within the mind, within our life. That is realization from purification. And that is Mahagauri. That is radiance. Austerity to purification, purification to radiance, 3 steps. That is Mahagauri Devi, today on the 8th day. This is the glory of Sanatan Dharma. Everyone who is part of Sanatan Dharma through tradition has a duty. ये हमारी प्रार्थना है भगवान के चरणों में. We have a God-given duty to uphold this tradition, to bring this tradition out, to transmit this tradition to the next generation. And the other point is all of the divisiveness that is there, even within the Sanatana Dharma, the only way that will go is when we understand and resonate with the pure Adhyatma. Then there's no division with anybody. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Religions fighting with each other, sampradayas competing with each other, things like that is even going on today. Ye Maha Agnan hai. Maha Agnan. That is not spirituality. It's not a business. This is not some business. This spirituality is not a business. It is a dimension of pure dimension. It is a dimension beyond all dimensions of love. But the Vasudeva Kutumbakam, this is the actual Satyam, and that is possible for us. These are doorways. There's never any criticism of others. It is the inclusion of others out of love. It is not the criticism. The life of Ramakrishna Paramahansa is probably the actual, gold standard, platinum standard for this. Okay, it's already 9:01, so let's stop here. Let me just do the closing mantra, then we'll open it up for any questions or comments. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Ganganapate Namaha Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundaye Viche Swaha Durge Durge Rakshini Tata Swaha Om Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu Om Hrim Swaha Hrim Swaha Hrim Swaha.